I'm sure many people out there are feeling the pain in terms of the bills all the way around, whether it's gas at the pump, paying for your electric bill at the house, water bills. I mean, it just goes on as the shelves are getting cleared out and inflation continues to rise. This is all part of a designed plan here to cripple most of the everyday people out there, to bring them to their knees, and things are only going to get worse from here. A whole lot more painful coming around the corner. It's pretty obvious that where we're sitting is just the beginning of this ball rolling, as all the world powers are in on this here globally, hand in hand. If you see a supply chain issue over in one country, it's definitely going to affect all the other countries. It happened here, it's happening in China, it's happening in other ports, and it's all going hand in hand. Now, the Biden administration got some $1 trillion for what they wanted to call infrastructure, as we've got bridges falling apart in this country, and we have our grid falling apart. And this is the main concern. Our grid is comprised of 4 different sectors, the main being Texas. And we just witnessed what the ice storm did to Texas here recently, crippled it. Not to mention, they're saying that rolling blackouts are beginning in several states, and especially out west, California, places like that. They've already called it, and they've said expect this summer to be sitting in the dark in the sweltering heat in the middle of the day, even if you have solar panels on your roof. And that's part of the trick there in California. They had so many people buy these solar panels, but they tied into the grid. It's grid tied, and that's not how you want to do it. You want to be in a place where when the lights go out, you still have power. That's the whole point. But yet, many of these states are forcing people into the other direction, and that's just pure stupidity. To be sitting in the dark with solar panels on your roof. Now, if you stay sitting in one of these states that push these rules and laws on you, you're never going to get anywhere. So you're going to have to be somewhere that allows you to move freely, to collect water and live, to be able to use solar panels to collect electricity. If not, it's all controlled and all funneling people into a trap, to where in the end, you're going to be sitting in the dark with nothing. And I'm not about that. I don't think many of you want to be sitting like that neither. They're about to pull the rug out from underneath of us. Like I said, with the $1 trillion infrastructure bill pushed and nothing being done to our grid, they're literally just waiting for it to collapse. And before they would ever come along and build up a brand new bit of infrastructure, they will put us in the dark. They will never miss this opportunity. To me, it is the one big move that would not only bring the United States down, but any country. It would bring it to their knees when you shut off all the power, as everything starts to crumble. I hope y'all have a plan. Join me for the live streams. There's links below. Make sure to hit that subscribe button for more. This has been Dabu7.
Alright, Shalom, Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all honors and glories and praises to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi, Bahashem Yahweh Kachodash, Yahweh, which is the one true name of the Heavenly Father, Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one true name is Yahawashi. I like to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the men who I've learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem Yahawashi. Peace, blessings, salutations to the hopeful elect, and shalom to you sincere brothers scattered abroad, pushing forth this word in truth and sincerity. I am your brother Mashiach Arazakah from the Servants of Yahweh Yahawashi Camp, Las Vegas, Nevada. And pretty much there's a U.S. power grid is failing, which is going to go into electricity shortage. All right. It's also, stated by Dabu7 that it could be by summer that this might occur. So, there's a lot of things going on. There's famine of the food. We went into that last, my previous lesson not too long ago, going into the famine of food and famine of diesel fuel, famine of water, etc. Now, this lesson is going to be about electricity. And I said it in my previous video that an EMP attack is going to happen. And that's what's going to take part as well. All right. And, an EMP attack, which we're going to get out right now, can affect a lot of things. All right. And when you put in what does an EMP attack do? It says an EMP attack releases huge waves from electromagnetic energy that can act as a giant moving magnet, and the charge can cause electrons in a nearby wire to move, which introduces a current. It says the EMP brings a huge burst of energy and can cause power shortages to any electronic equipment in range. Now, when you go right here, it says it says what would happen during an EMP attack. So what would happen during an EMP attack? What would it affect? It says an EMP attack would destroy the electronic and digital uh, circuitry in the area of impact, denying electric power to our homes, businesses, and military. It says our country is dependent on electricity to power our health, financial, and transportation and business systems, right? Because if an EMP attack happened, it can also freeze bank accounts. It can freeze your bank accounts. You won't have access to go into the bank, any of that. And if you have Bitcoin, because a lot of people believe that because they got Bitcoin that their money will be safe, they'll freeze your account. It'll put a hold on your account. You won't have no access to your account. So an EMP attack it can affect your home, it can affect your business or wherever. Financial goes into your bank. If you have because a lot of people are making their money digital going into Bitcoin and all that. It can still affect your Bitcoin. All right. It can put a hold on your accounts. It can freeze your accounts. So it's gonna affect everybody. All right. Your transportation, meaning your vehicle that you drive, it can affect on a high level. All right. And this is gonna bug a lot of people out. And I'm gonna go to Isaiah 10, and I'm gonna read verse Salakia. It's Isaiah 10. Salakia. Uh, Hold on, Salakia. Isaiah 10 and 24. This is Isaiah 10 and 24. It says, the city of confusion is broken down, and every house is shut up, and that no man may come in. Because this is the time that we're coming into. The city of confusion is Babylon, which is this place called America. It's broken down. All right. A lot of businesses have went out of business, due to the pandemic, etc. There's no more Payless. There's no more Toys R Us. All right. I'm just naming all the places that they had, which is no longer in business. All right. Circuit City, if people remember Circuit City, all these businesses we can think of have shut down, but there's going to be more businesses to shut down. It says, every house shut up that no man may come in. Verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets, and all joy is darkened. Because this is the time that we're going to come into. All right. All joy is darkened. You're not going to be able to go into the city. You're not going to be able to go out and have fun like the rest of you Jakes are doing now. You're not going to be able to do that no more. The EMP attack is going to be a total darkness. What happened to Venezuela in 2018, they had a power outage. And they went, I think, 2 weeks, 3 weeks without power. They were just in the dark. It says the mirth of the land is gone. It says, verse 12, it says, in the city is left desolation. It says, and the gate is smitten with destruction. And this is what is due to come. This is what is due to come. But if you are a Israelite that's embedded in this society, because our people trust in this society. They believe in this society. They believe it's the greatest place of the world. America is just this great country. America is nothing. All right. This is Isaiah 30 and 1. It says, woe to the rebellious children, which are you Israelites. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Hebrew Israelites according to the Bible. You're rebellious. It says, saith the Lord, that take counsel, but not of me. You don't take counsel of the Lord. You trust in Esau, Edom, in his society. It says, and they cover with a covering, but not of my spirit, that they may add sin to sin. Verse 2, it says, that walk to go down into Egypt, which is America, Babylon the Great, and have not asked at my mouth to strengthen themselves in the strength of Pharaoh. And who's Pharaoh? Joe Biden. Everybody's trusting in Biden. It was Trump, but they trust in Biden. You trust in this society, this American system. It says to the trust in the shadow of Egypt, which is this place called America, Babylon the Great. Verse 3, therefore shall the strength of your Pharaoh be your shame, and the trust in the shadow of Egypt, which is this place called America, your confusion. And this place is going to be your shame because you trusted in this place. You trusted in your enemy than your own power. All right. You forsaken your power to serve a heathen. You worship the heathen. You treat the heathen as your God. And you're going to be destroyed for that. All right. You Jakes are going to be destroyed for that. Because you despise your power. All right. You despise your power. And I got a precept. This is Jeremiah 30:5. It says, for thus saith the Lord. Anytime you see Lord in caps, it's talking about the Heavenly Father Yahweh. We have heard a voice of trembling, of fear, and not of peace. We're not in a time of peace. Just imagine if an EMP attack happens, this is going to affect and bug a lot of people out. A lot of people is going to be bugged out if an EMP attack is ever to occur. It's going to bug them out. They're not going to be able to handle that. All right. Being in the dark for weeks, not having because everybody's hooked on social media. All right. And if they shut that down, people are going to bug out. Especially these Israelite women. They're going to be the main ones to bug out. They're going to be bugged out. They can't sit in a house in the dark and not have no power and not be able to do anything. Women go crazy without social media. They lose their fucking wits. It says of fear and not of peace. Verse 6, it says, as ye know and see whether a man doeth travail with child. And a man doesn't travail with child. A woman does. It says, wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his lions as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. And that's feeble and weak. An EMP attack is going to bug a lot of people out. They're not going to be able to handle that. When that time comes, Jake isn't going to be able to handle that. They're going to bug out. But the elect, they're going to be able to handle that because they're going to have their faith. We're going to have our faith, Lord willing. The Spirit Yahweh Bashim Ashai, the elect is going to have their faith on the Lord. And the Lord is going to provide for us in that time. So we're not going to be running around here bugged out like the rest of these 2/3, wondering what they're going to do. And this is going to cause a lot of uproars, and it's going to lead a lot of people into civil arrest. They're going to take matters into their own hands because they're not going to be able to handle going a month, 2 months, 3 months without no electricity, man. Without no electricity, without no food, without no water. It's going to bug a lot of people out. All right. Verse 7, Alice for that day is great, so there's none like it. Because the time we're coming into is going to be worse than any time period in history you can think of. This is going to be a global thing. An EMP attack is going to be global too. It's going to be a global thing. It says it is even the time of Jacob's trouble. And this is the time that we're coming into. All right. It says, but he shall be saved out of it. This is talking about the elect, but we got to go through Jacob's trouble first before we can be saved. We got to go through Jacob's trouble. All right. And you got to have a faith. You got to endure through this. Let's see what Yahushua told us. Matthew 24:13. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. You got to endure to the end. Lord willing. We endure to the end. Lord willing, the Lord keeps the spirit on you to endure to the end. Because we're all fighting for our crowns individually. This is a spiritual and physical battle that we're going through, man. And the main thing that we're going through a battle with is ourselves. All right, holding on to this crown. All right, so you got to endure until the end. And Lord willing, I pray the Lord keeps me in that spirit, as well as to the you sincere brothers out there, starting from the elders, apostles, great millstone on down. The Lord keeps us in the spirit to endure and overcome that, because that's going to be a lot to deal with in that time. I don't know what's going to happen exactly. I don't know when it's going to happen. I'm just giving you according to prophecy. All right. That's going to be a lot to deal with. But you got to be persuaded in your own mind that the Lord is going to be there with you. You got to trust in Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right. It's easier said than done. But when that time comes, you got to be able to endure that. All right. So you can, Lord willing, be saved. We can be saved. Mark 13:13. And ye shall be hated of all men for my namesake, which the prophets are. We're hated for the Lord's namesake because we're bringing out the truth. How I'm doing this lesson about EMP attack, it scares a lot of bugged out individuals. A lot of jakes, this shit scares them. All right? It does. It scares them. And they don't like it. A lot of them try to say, oh, you're pushing for false information. Nah, this is the truth. This is out of the Bible. It says, but he that shall endure to the end, the same shall be saved. You know, you got 2/3 that's against the prophets because they hate what they're bringing out. They can't handle the truth. They want to continually be lied to and continually continue into the madness that they're in instead of coming out of that, man. But we're enduring through all of this, and we know that the Lord is going to protect us in these last days. This is Revelations 3:10. This is why you got to have the faith, and you got to be persuaded in your own mind. All right. This is Revelations 3:10. It says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. And who's kept the word? Who's keeping the word of the Lord's with patience? The prophets. All right. The elders and apostles of great millstone on down to the sincere brothers like ourselves. We believe in Yahweh Bashim Ashai. We know that the Lord is going to provide for us. We know that the Lord is going to be there for us. All right. It says, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation. The Lord is going to protect his elect. So even though an EMP attack is going to occur, even though the global economic collapse is going to happen, even though the MOTB is going to be made mandatory, the Lord is going to be there with us to get us through all of that. All right. That's why you got to be persuaded in your own mind. You got to have the faith. All right. Faith is what's going to matter in that time. All right. So again, regardless if you claiming to be in the truth, you better have the faith, because that's what's going to get you through in that time, regardless if you believe in it or not. Because we're coming into peerless times, man. All right. And this is the time we're coming into. So you want to have your trust. You want to trust in Yahweh Bashim Ashai. Let's get out John 7:38. Let's see what Yahweh said. This is all in red letter. This is out of the Bible. All right. This is John 7:38. He that believeth on me, as the scriptures have said, see, out of his belly. And what's the belly? Your mind. All right. Your mind. And out of his belly shall flow rivers of living water. The living water is the scriptures, man. This truth, this gospel, this good news. So we believe in Yahweh Bashim Ashai. We believe in the scriptures. The word is written of Yahweh Shai. The word is Yahweh Shai, man. All right. So we have faith in Yahweh Bashim Ashai. We believe in our power. So even though all these things are going to happen, all right, you can't let those things, you can't lose the faith. Because if you lose the faith in that time, then it means that you wasn't of the elect. You was just a called. And that's what's going to be a battle for a lot of jakes in the truth. Because everybody know that the Israelites, everybody is teaching, but the elders and apostles of great millstone even said you're going to have a lot of jakes that's going to come out to be Judas the Iscariots in that time. A lot of them going to fall out. A lot of jakes is going to give into this system. A lot of jakes is going to do that. All right. And I pray that I'm not that individual or any other brother out there. I pray that you and, from the elders and apostles of great millstone, which they're strong men, but mainly you jakes that's claiming to be in the truth, you're gonna do that. A lot of you guys are gonna fall out. A lot of you guys are gonna give into the system. And I pray I'm not that individual. A lot of jakes gonna be that Judas Iscariot. And I pray I'm not that individual or any brother out there, man. I pray that the Lord keep us in the right state of mind and keep us in the same spirit that we have now. I pray that we don't lose the faith and give into this system, because this is going to scare a lot of people. It's going to terrify a lot of people. All right. It's going to bug a lot of people out. All right. It really is. So, hey, you want to seek the Lord power, Yahweh Bashim Ashai. You want to have your faith in the Lord, and you want to be consistent in this truth and be obsessed with this truth, because hard times is coming. So, hey, man, I'm going to end it there with that. Again, an EMP attack is going to come. I don't know when, but it's going to come. All right. So you want to be, praying and fasting and building yourself up in the spirit. So, Lord, want us, that was edifying. Till the next time I say, Shalom.